Hello everyone, morning. My name is George and welcome to the Whistle, Steam and Petrol Warehouse. It's great to have you with me again, and we look forward to a few minutes of exciting videoing ahead, and let's see what we're going to do this morning. I thought perhaps we'll spend some time on the train enthusiasts, the model railroaders, the guys who take a clean slate, a blank canvas, and create a model world out of that. So we do start with a blank canvas. We need to decide what to do and how we're going to do it, what we're going to put on it, and so forth. I think the first thing to consider when we want to build a model railroad is, what do we want to achieve with the model railroad? Are we going to have continuous running trains? Do we enjoy that? Would we like to do shunting, perhaps the making up of trains and then running them, or perhaps even industries? And do we want to supply those industries? So the train would arrive, the train would be broken up, and then the different wagons or carriages moved to the different locations where they belong, whether it be cement industry, beer industry, the metal industry, foundries, whatever the case may be. But I think all of this is determined by the size of board that we do have. Because it's important that our curves of our track and our layout ensures that we have trains running that do not give us trouble. In other words, the curves are not too tight so that the locomotive derails on the curves. The larger the locomotives, the wider the curves we need. So it also depends what we have in our collection, whether we have small diesels, large steam trains, and what type of curves they would enjoy going around. Normally it'll tell you what the minimum curve of the locomotive would be. So that also determines what kind of layout we would be able to build. And then of course, ultimately what kind of scenery we would have, and then also what kind of buildings we're going to be putting on our layout. I find the easiest way to start building a layout from a blank canvas is to start by taking old rail and then just putting it down so that we get a basic idea, because it can be quite daunting to try and figure out what we are going to do with the layout. So we take track and we just roughly put it down, and then we give it a few days and we come back to it. We revisit it all the time and we change as we go along. Because one thing I can guarantee you, it's going to change. As you start building the track, new ideas come up. Perhaps an area where you thought you could do something just doesn't seem to work because you roughly put the track down. So once the track is aligned properly and put down and nailed down, then your curvatures and stuff might not turn out the way you intended to. So it would change. But at least it gives us a start. It gives us an idea of what we want to do and how we're going to do it. Now, I'm certainly not an aficionado on this kind of thing. What I know is what I've learned from the mistakes I've made. And they say it's always good to not always make the same mistakes. So it's good to find out what mistakes another person made so that we do not make the same mistake. The biggest thing is get started. What you can also do is, there are so many publications, whether old or new, because even some old ideas are excellent ideas to get you started on a model railroad layout. I find an excellent publication that I think is really worth subscribing to is the Model Railroader magazine. It's got some excellent ideas, it's got some good advice. They come out, each issue has a feature layout on it that you could have a look at, incorporate some of those ideas onto your layout. So consider that. It's worth it to either buy the magazine if you can find it, or to subscribe to it, because it'll give you some wonderful ideas. I have a few publications in the warehouse that I always go back to have a look at what I can do, because as with any art, and this is really an art, as with any art form, we do strike a blank. We strike a blank where we just don't know what to do, how to go further, or how to rectify a problem. And that's where publications like this are really worth it. Well, there we have it, guys. Thank you very much for spending the time with me. I wish you a wonderful week ahead. Have a fantastic time. God bless. See you next time.